For more on this, let's welcome back former New York Congresswoman and board member at the Independent Women's Forum, Nan Hayworth, the CEO of Chickasaw Bank and former Oklahoma House Speaker and current candidate for the United States Senate in the state of Oklahoma, T.W. Shannon, and former Trump campaign aide and Newsmax contributor Rick Gates. Great to have you back on. Nan, I'm wondering what you make of this. Did this exchange that Joe Biden led with when he got off Marine One Saturday night at the White House, did this ever take place in Saudi Arabia?
If Biden says it happened, Rob, I can guarantee you it didn't.
Take it to the bank. Or not.
Take it to the bank. Yeah, no, Calamity Joe. I think that's what we're going to call it from now on. No, Calamity Joe never addressed it. I'm sure. How could he even remember to address it, Rob? Why was he even there? I mean, Joe Biden is a gigantic kick me sign on the back of America. Going to Saudi America, gas can in hand, begging for more oil production when everyone in the world knows that he could drown us in oil if he wanted to, but he won't do it. Everything Biden has done, everything he has said throughout certainly his presidential career has been a fraud and a lie. Sorry, but that's just the way it is.
TW, you used to be the CEO of a bank in Oklahoma. I don't think you'd let Biden open up an account based on this account. Did it happen? Did he bring up Jamal Khashoggi and then Oliver Twist style ask for more oil production from OPEC to bring down prices here before the midterms? I don't think that happened. That sounds like an odd interaction to me.
Listen, under no circumstances should Joe Biden be taking a tour around the world, flying 7,000 miles to go fist bump a dictator while also begging for oil when we have oil right here in America. What Joe Biden should be doing is flying to Oklahoma and fist bumping the producers here. Or how about the workers who lost their jobs on the Keystone Pipeline? Let's go fist bump those guys. But the truth is, we have no idea what Joe Biden said. Joe Biden probably has no idea what he said because we cannot trust this administration. They lied to us from the very beginning. They've been lying to us about inflation. They lied to us about the economy, and they lied to us about their true intent about destroying the fossil fuel industry in America. They've been very laser focused on it, and the Green New Deal is being implemented before our very eyes. And I'm very hopeful that when we see the elections in the midterm, that we will have Republicans who can stand up to this socialist agenda that is frankly crippling not only the American economy, but American families. Americans are suffering because of Joe Biden, and he needs to be held accountable. And we need to have a big discussion also about the other entangling alliances that he seems to be getting us in around the world because he's inept and he's ineffective.
Yeah, and I get the other side of the argument. You're going to believe the American president over, murderers, liars, the Saudi crown prince. But in this case, I'm not sure I believe this president. Rick, I want to talk about the primary happening today in a state not far from your home state of Virginia. Maryland is holding their primary today. Why this is interesting to me is Larry Hogan, who a lot of people say is running for president in 2024. He's termed out, so he can't run for governor anymore. But Democrats are raising money for the Trump-endorsed to run ads against the Trump-endorsed candidate Dan Cox because he's too conservative, apparently. And Democrats are pushing Kelly Schultz, who Larry Hogan has endorsed. Coincidentally, Mike Pence has also endorsed. Take us through what's happening in Maryland, Rick.
Yeah, Maryland's an interesting state. Larry Hogan, kind of a moderate, unusual GOP governor, 2 terms, and his term limited. So that race is up. But it's being framed as a proxy war between Governor Hogan and President Trump backing Dan Cox. And what I think you're seeing is what we've seen across the country. Democrats have actually crossed over lines for different reasons. Sometimes they're crossing over because they're just frustrated with Biden's policies. But in a number of states, they are seeing kind of far right-wing candidates or being considered candidates, and those are easier candidates to beat. So the Democrats will actually go support that candidate in the hopes that during the general election in November, the Democrat would actually win in the end. And that's what you're seeing with Dan Cox. The DNC has actually put about $1.3 million of ads. Now, it's saying it's not interfering. It's arguing that it's moving up their timeline of contesting the general early. But at the end of the day, we all know that this is absolutely the Democrats attempting to manipulate the elections in some of these states. And what's going to be interesting about Maryland is, unlike other states that primaries have already happened, all the Maryland's races are up, even the state delegate races. So I think you're going to see potentially a little higher turnout than some of the other states in primaries. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out. We'll have the results for you tomorrow morning. A little less than a minute left. Want to play you a soundbite from Rachel Levine answering a question about transgender kids having access to what she calls gender affirmation treatment, gender surgery. Take a listen.
So we really want to base our treatment and to affirm and to support and empower these youth, not to limit their participation in activities and sports, and even limit their ability to get gender affirmation treatment in their state.
You chose Florida, of course, home of the Don't Say Gay bill, of course, which has been notably restrictive.
T.W. Levine is the assistant health secretary. She wants states like Florida to enact undue limitations on children getting transgender treatments, basically surgeries, very intense surgeries. What do you make of this?
Well, this is just an attempt by the left, frankly, to be honest about what they really believe. They are after our children, Rob, and this idea a genital mutilation of our children. We have to protect our children from it. These are officials in the highest ranks of the Biden administration who are literally advocating that the federal government have policies that encourage young children in grade school to mutilate their bodies either through surgery or through medication. Either way, this is something that has no business in the federal government. This has no business in our society. What we should be talking about is how do we protect children from those radical leftists who are going after them and trying to indoctrinate them with this transgender phobia, where they're actually pitting Americans against Americans and creating a narrative that is just false and untrue. We shouldn't be having a discussion about what's a boy
against the most vulnerable segment of our population.
And how we protect the economy.
Yeah, great point, TW. Quickly, Roger Marshall, Senator, tweeted something out. He is a doctor, just like yourself, Nan, and we're out of time. But he tweeted about this, saying 80% of children outgrow gender dysphoria. This should get everybody's attention. Great stuff this morning, Nan, TW, Rick. Appreciate the conversation. Enjoyed it all morning long. We've got a lot more to cover this morning on Wake Up America.